Hey everyone, I mentioned this last Sunday that we would be giving you an update on our reopening our in-person service plan. So I am really excited to be doing this video right now. In fact, I've been waiting 13 weeks to tell you that we do have a plan for reopening. So praise God for that. It was just a couple of weeks ago that Saskatchewan let us know that we could reopen our church up to 30% of our capacity, or 150 people, whichever is less. And so we have been working diligently on a plan in order to be able to do that. And we're super excited. We have our plan together, and we're just finalizing all of the details. And so here's what I get to tell you. On Sunday, July the 5th, we are having a grand reopening of our in-person services, and we would love to have you here. So we'll be doing services at 9 and 11 a.m. on Sunday, July the 5th, and please, we encourage you to come if you're able. Now, of course, this is going to happen in phases, and so we're just learning as we go, and we're figuring out all of the details, but here's what we want you to know. We as a church are leading the way when it comes to making sure that it's a safe environment for you to come back to in-person services too. And we're doing that in a number of ways. First of all, we're committed to following all of the guidelines that the government is giving us. We are also committed to going over and above those. We have been consulting with the government. The government has a phone number for us to call as a place of worship in order to make sure that we're interpreting the guidelines rightly. We've also been consulting with churches in Alberta that opened before us as to how it's going and what that looks like. We've also been consulting with people within our own church who have expertise in these areas, and they're working with us to create our plan for a safe reopening of our services. So, there are a lot of guidelines that we're going to be following, and we'll be explaining to you as we go. We have certain doors for entrances and certain for exits. We'll have lines to let you know direction, flow of traffic. Our seating will be spaced in such a way that there's social distancing. There'll be all kinds of guidelines like that. If you sing, we'll have masks for you to wear, or you can bring your own mask and so on. So there'll be lots of guidelines to follow, and it's going to feel a little bit weird at first, but it's going to be amazing. Now, along with that, you might be able to hear in the background as I do this video, we're doing renovations right now. And so it's going to be really cool for you to see some of the amazing renovations that have happened in our sanctuary over the last few weeks, and we're really, really excited for that too. So it's kind of like a grand reopening, not only of our in-person services, but of our new sanctuary and the changes that we've made in our sanctuary. So that's really cool, and we can't wait for you to be a part of that. We're going to be continuing fully our online services. So if you would like to continue to watch the services online rather than coming in person for one reason or another, that is totally fine. We understand if you have kids. Right now we're not opening our kids ministry in this phase yet, so we're going to be opening that as soon as we can. And so if you feel that it would be better for you to watch the service at home with your little kids, no problem at all. Or if you're in the vulnerable category of people with this whole COVID thing and you feel it would be better to enjoy the services online at home, also no problem at all for you. A couple other things I can tell you about. June the 28th, we're doing a pre-phased opening of our 11 o'clock service. And that we're going to be doing for training purposes. And so if you serve on any team at all in our church and would like to be a part of that service June the 28th, we would love you to come to that. Just email me, Pastor Dan at victoryMJ.com. And if you would like to be a part of the June 28th pre-phase 11 a.m. service only, then let me know and we'll see if we can make a space for you at that service. But July the 5th, grand reopening of in-person services. And again, I just can't wait to be worshiping with as many of you as we can have for that time. So 9 and 11 a.m. We will have a registration process for that, so please keep your eyes open for that. We'll be emailing that out and sending that out on social media and making sure everybody knows how the registration process works for those services. Also, we'll be sending out guidelines, and we've been preparing a document that has all the guidelines and all the safety procedures that we're going to be following and that we're going to need you to follow as well. Along this journey, we know that every one of us has been processing this journey differently and following these guidelines in different ways. And for some of us, it's frustrating. We can't wait to get back to church and we're chomping at the bit. For others of us, we're a little nervous about coming back to in-person services, and we're sort of saying, I'll wait until a little while. Listen, it's fine either way. we as a church are committed, and you guys have done a fantastic job of this, to loving each other well, to not judging each other, to serving each other well. And so we're going to keep that spirit as we go on this journey together. Coming back in person, it's going to feel strange at first, and there's going to be all kinds of adjustments as we go along the way and as we follow these guidelines. But let me just encourage you, always operate in love toward one another and in unity toward one another. So for those of you who are ready to come back, yes, we can't wait. Come back. We'll follow those guidelines together. For those of you who need a little more time and you're watching how things develop, great. Keep being a part of our online community, and we're still the church, whether we're together in person here or whether we're together online. Either way, we're just pumped to be walking this journey together and know that God has so well protected us and guided us thus far, and we're trusting He's going to continue to do that. Fun fact that I can let you know as well. We as a church have actually been on the front lines of helping the churches here in Moose Jaw figure out a return to church plan. The churches in Moose Jaw are consulting with us, asking us for our guidelines, asking us for our guidance and so on. So really cool. We're leading the way in Moose Jaw here as a church. And then also beyond that, we've been helping churches all across Canada. Yeah, our little church in Moose Jaw here has been a part of the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada. I've actually been on a panel with the Chief Medical Officer of Northwest Territories and the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada for churches all across the country to figure out wise and evangelistically effective reopening plans for our churches. So really neat that we get to be on the front lines of that and we get to lead the way in that. And we do want you to know, as a church, we have been very diligent to do this safely and well, and to do this in a manner that will make sure that we're protected as a church, that each person who's a part of this is able to be a part of it safely, and yet where we can be the church in a wise and powerful way where we're doing our ministry effectively. Please know again, we're praying for you. We love you, and we can't wait to continue to minister with you both in person and online. So July the 5th, please make sure if you come to that you register. By the way, some people won't be able to register, and you might be concerned about that. Some people don't have computers or they can't figure out the registration process. We will have registration here in person as well for those services as long as we don't max out our numbers. So we will have that on site as well, and you can join in that. Anyway, that's our update for today. There's lots of other stuff going on, and let's continue to serve and love each other well, and let's continue to pray that as a church we can be effective together at leading people to know and love and serve Jesus. Thanks, guys. God bless.